Good afternoon, Candlepin bowling fans. This is Dan Castle, and we moved from our 10:30 a.m. match down in Millis to our match here at Webster Timber Lanes in Abington, Massachusetts. Bowlers are getting ready to bowl shortly, and I'm just starting the live feed a little early. We have a doubleheader here for you in Class B and Class C. So coming up momentarily, we'll introduce the bowlers, and you'll get to see Peter Janton bowling versus Nick Brienzi in the Class B match, and Brian Pratt versus Kevin Brown, Brian being the home bowler here, in the Class C. The bowlers have decided to go head-to-head against their opponents here. So getting the scoreboard set up, and should be a fun doubleheader. I'm going to try to keep score. I'm on my own today, and my partner Dave is not available. I don't know where everybody else is, but that's okay. I can do it. I talk fast, and I have to write fast too. So, be some fun bowling. The bowlers here are all pretty decent, and have put up big games. So, I'm going to log in on the phone so I can see your comments, and we'll get underway momentarily. I'm ready. I'm live as whenever you guys are ready. Okay, as soon as I get the scoreboard set up, we'll be ready to rock and roll here. And I already see I have some viewers already, so bear with me a second. We're just getting set up and getting ready to start this 5-string doubleheader match between 2 B division bowlers and 2 C division bowlers. And all right, so maybe we're not going to go double header this time. All right. Are we double header or not? Or head to head or not? Head to head or not? Head to head. All right. So that'll be Peter versus Brian and
Peter versus Nick. So Kevin and I first.
Okay.
And then Peter and Nick, and then
perfect.
We'll swap names.
Perfect. So that actually makes keeping score a little easier for me on the paper.
One game.
Yeah, believe me, it's a lot easier. Staran Looney, hello. All right, we're getting ready to go underway. If the bowlers want to position themselves up to show your pretty faces, we'd like to see you. So we'll get. Why not? Otherwise, I'll forget, and I'll wonder why you guys are going up to introduce yourselves. All right, we're live. From your left, Peter Janton, Nick Brienzi. They'll be bowling against each other in the B division. In the C division, we have Brian Pratt bowling against Kevin Brown, and I did not mess up a single name, which is freaking amazing, so we're off to a good start. So, gentlemen, start your engines, shake your hands, and let's see some Candlepin action here. And Glenn Gill, good to see you again. Must be a quiet Sunday if all you have is time to watch me do these things. So, Larry Wentworth is here visiting with us, too. And we are on lanes 3 and 4 at Timber Lanes, and I'm looking for lanes 1 and 2, and I don't see them anywhere, so maybe they don't exist. I've never been down at this end before. The bowlers have opted to go head-to-head, so each match will be the bowlers. It will be a single game. And while we're waiting here, just remind everybody that this is a 5-string series.
Here's my phone on Facebook. Can you post the link to this?
Yeah, I can share it to your feed.
I'm going to leave you my phone, so I'm going to bowl.
Okay.
That way you can just put it on there for me.
Okay, we can do that.
And if you get locked out, the code is 953.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try to do that for him. Let me share this. Yeah, I can actually share it a couple of other ways, so hang on one moment. I'm going to share this to Kevin's. I'm showing it to my feed first, and then we'll share it to Kevin. And we are underway with Brian Pratt with the first ball, and he's on the head pin. He's left with a split. Kevin's on the 2 pin. And nice 8 drop. So Kevin's looking at the 6, 7, 8, and 10. And almost gets a spare. Good bit on that. And Kevin's got, it looks to me like the 1, 3, unless that's a 3. Okay, no spares either way. And I'm going to share this also to friend's profile. So I have a $9 for Brian and a $10 for Kevin. And we're going to put this on Kevin's feed. So bear with me, I'm getting there, gang. And okay, it's on Kevin's feed, so you can watch it at home. Okay, looking for comments as we get underway, and that's a head pin hit by Brian, and leaves a split again. Kevin off the head pin, and he's left with the 1-3-4, I believe. All right, the wood's interesting down there for Brian. He has something to work with. We'll see if it helps him. Picks up the 2, still has a 10 down there. And Kevin's got a straight shot. Wood's down there, and it's insignificant, and he's off in the ocean. And so neither bowler has a mark to start yet in the first 2. A $9 for Brian for 18 through 2. And an $8 for Kevin Brown for 18 through 2. All knotted up, 2 boxes in. 5-game match. Bowlers are awarded 2 points for each string that they win. And 4 points for the bowler that has the highest total. In the event of a tie, we split it in half. Those points go toward the bowler's playoff standings. Nice head pin hit by Brian. Leaves a 5-7 split. Kevin's off to the left. And just picks out a lemon down there. So on the wood, nice try by Brian. No spare. Kevin's got a whole bunch. Needs a strike ball. And has 2, 3, 4 more left, I believe. And that's a $10 for Brian Pratt for 28 through 3. And Kevin with, I believe, a 7. Could it be a 6? And I put the scoreboard up where you guys can see it. And they're going to give him $6 for 34. Okay, just want to catch up here. All right, Pratt with a hit on a 4-pin. That doesn't do you any good. And Kevin at 24. All right, nice bid by Brian Pratt, trying to get that spare on that big cluster of pins. Kevin has basically the same thing the other side. Here he comes and just misses the object. So as people join in here, love to hear from you. $9 for Brian Pratt for 37 through 4. Kevin looking to clean this mess up. And disappointing, I think, $5. So he's actually at 23 and 29, another $6. So 29 for Kevin through 4, 37 for Brian through 4. Brian gets a late falling pin for a 7 drop. Kevin's still looking for the head pin. He's on the 4 that time. Drops just the triangle in the back. So Brian's taking a closer look at this one because looks like he's got 2 pieces of wood down there. One up against the 2 pin and a 9-10. Audio check too. Hey Don Devish, tell me how my audio sounds and also if you can hear the pins falling. Otherwise I need to turn the gain up. And a first spare of the match by Brian Pratt. And Kevin trying to pick up his, and he'll be open through 5. Long ways to go in this match, so looking to clean this up. And that gives Kevin Brown a 37.5 with that $8. And Brian Pratt sits down with 47 plus a ball. Now the B division bowler's coming up. I sent it over to your phone from mine, so I just shared it to your feed. You should see it. Talking to Kevin there. All right. Thank you, Don. Nick Brienzi, home bowler here on the B division, starting us off with a nice head pin hit and a split. Peter Janton off the head pin. Punches out a half Worcester. Should be on your homepage. So go to your homepage. Nick was looking at a ugly split there. Peter on this half Worcester just about gets it. Not quite. And a nice $10 for Brienzi. and Janton matches.
I've been out of there where I'm looking.
Yeah, just go to your homepage on Facebook, and you should see it. Matching 10s to start the Class B match, and box 2, Nick Brienzi. On the head pin and a split again. Head pins means split so far for everybody. Janton just off and leaves a 1-2-7-8. Nick has, that's the 2-6, I think. A little too far, picks up just the 6 pin. Janton at a triangle plus sends things flying, but it doesn't pick up that 8 pin. Good bid on that.
I don't know where to find it.
I'll show you.
There's my homepage. I don't see it.
All right, so if I go here, all right, and 9 box for Nick, 10 box for Peter for 20. All right, so if I go to your homepage, there's your page. Nick Brienzi on the head. See, there you are. It's right on your page. So, pair of head pin hits for these guys.
You're on a, shit.
What's that?
You gotta send it to a different. I'm on a different Facebook.
Oh, are you? What's your?
Yeah, this one. It's got this as the stream.
Hang on. No, that's what I have here too.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. There you go. And that's a spare for Pete Janton and Nick with a 9 box. All right, so Nick is at 19 through 2, 28 through 3, and Peter Janton perfect so far with a 30 plus a ball coming up in box 3, so he'll be on a fill on this one. Brienzi off on the 4 pin, takes out, looks like 4 pins. On the fill for Pete. Missed a head pin, but picks up 7, so he's at 37 through 3. 6 is a, yeah, I see it in the back. All right, 6 fill. Sometimes those ones behind are a little tough to see. Does not get a spare. Both bowlers open again in box 4. And a 9 box for Nick, 37 through 4. A 9 box for Pete, and he's at 45 through 4. I'm doing it in pencil today, gang. Brienzi off the head pin, leaves the 1-3-10. Janton off the head pin, he's got the 4 horsemen plus the 10 pin. Spare opportunity here for Nick, if that wood works for him. He's got to get on that head pin, and he misses, leaves the head pin. Went a little wide to the right. Opportunity for Peter to get a second mark here, but he misses a head pin too. Sean Breton. 9 box for Nick, 46 half. High-low jack. And Pete just gets the high, so an 8 box. We close out the first half of game 1, 53-46 in favor of Pete Janton in the B division. Now the C division bowlers are coming up for their second half of game 1. Hey Kendrick, good to see you again. All right. I got like 3 Facebook pages open here. All right, we are on a mark for Brian, and he puts 8 on it. So closes the first half with 55. Kevin looking at the Colery, just picks off the middle 2, and Brian's got an opportunity here. If he can pick that up, misses his object. So nobody marks in box 6 of the C bowlers. And Kevin gets a nice 8 box out of that. And he's at 45 through 4, or through 6, I'm sorry. And with that 9 box, Brian Pratt is at 64 through 6. So he's, there we go. Nice head pin hit by Kevin, and a split, and a strike. First mark for Kevin. take that one. All right, that's a 3-6 for Brian, so he's on a no spare for him. So that was big for Kevin. It's taken him a little bit to find it, but they found it there for sure. All right, 9 box for Brian Pratt for 73 through 7. You're right, Kendrick. Really just 3 matches today. It's not too bad. Just some driving in between. So I just wonder what my house is going to look like when I get home when the Huskies have a fun day with it. Kevin on the first ball in the fill. He's right in there in the pocket. Nice hit. Leaves a check mark. Pratt with some late falling pins. Takes down 8. Leaves the 1-7. And Kevin shooting at the check mark, which is 2, 4, 5, and 7. And he'll take an 8 fill. Spare for Brian. So Kevin's pulled within 10. And he picks off a 9, so 72 through 8 for Kevin. He's going to really need a mark or 2 here. Brian has an 11-pin advantage at the moment in completed boxes, but he's also on a fill. All right, Kevin, nice. Was off to the 6-pin. Got some late action on that. 7 in the fill for Brian for a 90 through 8. Spare for Kevin. Nice shot. That was a 3-7. And no spare for Brian. So Kevin picked up 1. So it's getting a lot tighter here, and that's an 8 box for Pratt, 98 through 9. All right, so Kevin's at 82. Really is going to need it out of the mark, but win or lose first string, it's really all about total at this point, too. So trying to get that wood out of there, and it's a big target. And he gets the pin out of the way. Slight bending of the rules there, but we don't care. All right, we're coming into box 10 here. Kevin Brown is on a fill. He's at 82 plus whatever this ball yields. Good ball. And that's a 6. And Brian punches out a half Worcester. So Kevin is at 88 through 9. And a little ugly split there for him, 2 and 2. No spare for Brian. So Brian will take the first string. And an 8 box, 96 by my count. 7 box for Brian, 105. 6 box, I'm sorry. I missed 1 pin there. 104. All right, game 1 is in the books for the C Bowlers. 104 to 96 in favor of Brian Pratt, who will take the first 2 points. B Bowlers coming up, giving me a moment here to switch sheets. And they sat down at 53 to 46 in favor of Peter Janton, and here comes Peter starting the second half and hits the head pin solid, but it's a 2-1 split, and Nick also put up a solid head pin hit, and he's left with a 5-7. All right, so Pete's shooting at the 6, 7, 8, 10. Gets just a 7 out of the wood. Nick trying to kick the 5 over. Tough shot. Doesn't go very often when it does. No, Timberlanes is south. We're in the south division here.
Hey, Rick. Hey, Rick. Rick. We need a ball off the thin deck.
So this is B South and C South we're watching here. So we see Nick Brienzi frequently in Millis. He bowls in a couple leagues there. Kevin Brown bowls out of Millis. But Nick is calling Timberlanes his home house, which puts him in the south. Not sure. I don't remember offhand where Peter bowls out of. I should know that. So Bill Olson, hello. And we're just waiting for recovery of wood that's out of play or a check. And Peter misses the object. Nick picks up his, matching 9 boxes in box 6. So Nick Brienzi or Pete Janton, I'm sorry, at 62. And 55 for Nick Brienzi. Almost a strike. Peter put it down solid. Dropped 9, left the 7 pin. Nick went to the right of the head pin. Now Pete's got some wood there beside the 7 that looks a little tricky. If he taps it, it'll probably go, and it does. Spare in the 7 for Janton. Nick found the middle pin. Sometimes that happens to all of us. And he takes a 9. So Nick is at 64 through 7. Pete's moving forward with 72 plus a ball. First game out of 5. Ways to go here. All right, on the fill, here comes Peter Janton. Buried it on the head pin, a tad full. It's a split out of that, 5 in the fill. So he's at 77 through 7, a 13-pin lead in completed boxes. Looking at a... Looks like he had another fall, so I'll give him 78. 6 in the fill. But no spare. So both bowlers looking for their third ball here. See if they can get some out of it. And Peter takes an 8 box for an 86. And Nick goes wide of everything for a 6. He's at 70 through 8. All right. A couple of bowlers getting a little slow start here, but a long ways to go in this match. And Janton coming up, starting box 9. On the head pin, drops a bomb. All gone. Nick, good bid to match that. Drops 8. He's left with the 4 and the 8 pin. 2 together. Some of us find that hard. Let's see how he does with it. And puts it in the channel. So no spare there for him. Peter's in very good shape to capture this one. And there's a 10 for Nick. 80 through 9. Just got to check something here on my phone. Okay. What's that?
Box 8 was a 4 for the
Yep, okay, thank you. I had 6 up, and sometimes I do that. In the meantime, we saw Nick put up a strike in the 10th. It'll be tough for him to win this string. Peter finished with 113. First ball, and Nick's. I'm just trying to catch up here, gang. All right, 10 fill for Nick on that strike. That 20 box gives him a 98 string. And just catching up here in my paper scoring. And there we go. Final score for the B Bowlers is 113 to 98 in favor of Peter Janton. So that game's in the books, and Peter gets the first 2 points. And now we're going to start game 2. Back to our C bowlers. And on your right, Brian Pratt's going to start us off. He took the first string, 104 to 96 over Kevin Brown. And starting game 2, just off the head pin. Getting some late action break, and that gives him an ugly 7-9 split. Kevin Brown punches out a half Worcester left. Just 2 out. So Brian's trying to figure out how he's going to shoot this. This is a tough one. Doesn't have any wood that's going to help him. And he'll take the 9 pin. And Kevin to the right, so both bowlers open. 9 box for Brian Pratt. Kevin looking at the 1-9 to clean it up. That could be the 5-9. It's hard for me to tell, but it's a 9 box anyway. 9-9, box 1. Coming into box 2, game 2. Brian Pratt on your right in the C division bowling against Kevin Brown, and here we go. On a head pin, punches it through. Kevin's on the 4 pin, takes a triangle out in the back. 3-2 split, half or spread eagle minus cup 1. Does not go for Peter or for Brian. I've got to get everybody straight here. Recycle. Kevin adjusted to the right. Took out some more, left the 1 and the 2, and a 9 box for Brian Pratt for 18 through 2. And a 9 box for Kevin. Is that pin going to fall? It's wiggly, but it's not going to fall. 18. They're knotted up, 2 boxes in here. Coming into box 3, game 2. Brian Pratt, our home bowler. Again on a head pin, again a split, this time the spread eagle. Kevin hoping to take advantage of this and get a good ball in there, but he's off to the right. But honestly, it's probably a better leave. He took out 6. Nice bid by Brian. He takes out the left side. Tried to kick something off the wall into the right, doesn't go. Kevin, everything but that 4 pin. And a 9 box again for Brian Pratt, 27 through 3. Kevin looking to get ahead with this pin. And he'll have a 9 box. All 9 so far, 27 to 27, 3 boxes in.
Right down the sheet.
One of these guys is going to get a 10 and break it open. I make sure my screen went dark here for a second. Make sure everybody sees and I can see. Oh boy, just picks off 1. Just the 2 pin. We saw that this morning too. Kevin coming in, and he found the head pin that time. Drop 9. Peter too far to the other side, or not Peter, I'm Brian too far to the other side, sorry. And there we go. Spare for Kevin Brown. And a nice 10 box for Brian Pratt, 37 through 4. Clean that up nicely. And just checking the board up here, and we are still showing up okay on my phone. Pratt with a ball to the left. On the fill for Kevin, and hoping for more, but he gets 5, it looks like. Is that 4 or 5? 4. And that puts him at 41 through 4, so he's got a lead. Yep, I see the hidden pin back there. And Kevin Brown with a nice 9. 10 box for Brian Pratt, 47 through 5, and Kevin Brown with that 9 is at 50. He's got a 3-pin lead in completed boxes. Keeping an eye on the streams here. Okay, we're looking good here. Show more viewers here than I do on my phone, but love to hear from you guys. Starting off the first half of game 2. Brienzi leaves up a bunch, and Janton just plucked out the, came on a 4-pin, just took out a couple. So both bowlers open, no head pins on that one. 9 for Nick Brienzi. And a matching 9 for Peter Janton. So everybody's putting up 9s in their first boxes. All 4 bowlers did it. Box 2, game 2. Nick Brienzi. Off to the side, just plucks out a couple. Peter Janton. He finds a head pin and everything but the 5-pin. Nice hit. Oh boy, Brienzi picks off the 2 from the half Worcester on the left, so he's going to want a cleanup ball for his 10. Jansen's got a great spare opportunity here. 5-pin with wood in front of it, and he takes it off the wall, but it goes. Doesn't matter how it goes, it went. And Nick cleans up with a 7 box. Verify that. And it is. It's a 7 box. So he's a 16 through 2. Trying to catch up here. All right, here comes Nick. Box 3. Just off the head pin. Took out 3. On the fill, Janton at a respectable 7. He was off the head pin on that, but that's okay. He's at 26 through 2. Picked up 10-pin lead. Nick, nice attempt to take it off the inside. Janton misses his object. And a nice cleanup by Nick with a 9 box. 25 through 3. And Janton with an 8 box. 34 through 3. Hopefully you guys can still see me okay. It's giving me messages to check my internet, but it looks good on my phone. Brienzi, box 4, and it looks like, is it going to go? Oh my goodness, everything but the 8-pin. But a nice hit. Peter Janton drops 6 for that head pin hit, and that would be a split. And there's a nice spare for Nick. In the 4th box of game 2. Janton, nice try. He just trying to cut the inside of those 2 pins and just missed the object. Not by much. And he'll take a 7, and that's going to be it. 41 through 4. Opportunity here for Nick. He's at 35 through 4 plus a fill ball. Good fill, it puts him ahead. So on the fill, here he comes. On the head pin. Nothing wrong with 8. Both matching head pins. A split for Nick. He's got the 5-7. Favorable wood, I think. Oh, it doesn't carry. Okay, so no spare for him. Janton on his spare attempt hits the snowplow, but it doesn't carry the front piece. So Nick's at 43 through 4 and 52 through 5. That 9 box. And Peter sits down at 51 with a 10 box. Tight one here. 52 to 51 halfway through game 2 in the B division. And here comes our C bowlers coming up. All right. I see more comments here. All right. Nobody's on a fill here. Kevin Brown starts out with a Cagliari. And Brian Pratt with a Cagliari minus a 10. Nice try by Kevin. He was right in the 1-3 pocket where he wanted to be. Didn't carry. Brian's off to the right. Still has 3 pins up. Nice 10 by Kevin Brown. 57 through 6. And Brian Pratt with a 9 box. He's at 59 through 6. Tight one here. Tight in both games. And I'm disagreeing a little bit with the score that they have up there, so I got to take a look at that. Kevin with spare 4. 9 puts him at 50 for the half. And the 10 box is 60. Okay, I'm off by 1. Oh, a nice bid by Brian. Okay, Kevin's trying to clean up the 9-10 with his third ball. He's going to use a wood. He's going for the pin. Tries to kick it over. Doesn't make it. 8 box. And a 9 box for Brian Pratt. 66 for Brian. And we are at 68. Okay, so I'm off a pin on him too. Okay, I got it. Hit a 9 box in his previous. Double headers are tough sometimes. Okay. Okay, back to the action. Kevin Brown with a punch out and a head pin hit for Brian Pratt, leaving the 4-7. Kevin, nice try on that one. And a spare for Brian Pratt. Kevin still has the 3, the 4, and the 10 up there. See what he can get out of this. How about 1? Let's make an 8 box. 76 through 8, and Brian's at 75 plus a ball. He's going to take a lead on this as long as he doesn't throw in the gutter. Kevin, box 9, off on the 2 pin, on the fill for Brian, and let's make that a 7 fill. 82, he's up by 6 pins. Kevin has the inverted half Worcester, so that's the 3 and the 9, a wood in front of it, and he, come on, unbelievable. Well, it wiggled, but it didn't fall, so no spare. And Pratt gets his spare, sweeping the wood over. And that's a 9 box for I got it backwards again. 9 box for Kevin. Spare for Brian. Kevin's at 85 by my count. And Brian's at 92 on a ball. And Kevin with a punch through on the 3. And only 3 in the fill. Brian Pratt. Okay, no spare for either bowler. Kevin's got a bunch down there. He's got 6 more pins to carry, and he'll just get 2 of them. So that's a 6 box and a 91 string. And that's a 9 box for 103. So game 2 in the books, despite my hiccups in scoring here. And Brian Pratt wins 103 to 91. And that's 2 points. He's got 4 points in the books. 207 to 187. So a 20-pin lead for Brian Pratt. A bowlers coming up for the second half of game 2. Starting with Peter Janton, who puts it on the 3-pin. Takes out 6. Nick buries a head pin there nicely. No spare? Oh, Nick just misses to the left. Not by much. But no spare for him either. And that's an 8 box. So Peter with 59 through 6. And Nick with 10 boxes of 62. All right. Back to my live producer page as we watch Peter Janton come up for box 7 on the 2-pin. Picks out 7. Head pin hit for Nick, and a bit of a split there. The 2, 4, and 10. Peter shooting at triangle of 5, 8, 9, and misses to the right. All right, Nick misses his, so no marks in box 7 for these guys. That's an 8 box for Pete. I bet you he wants that ball back again. 67. And a 9 box for Nick Brienzi is a 71. So Nick's got the lead right now. 71 through 67 in completed boxes. All right, coming into box 8 of game 2, and Peter Janton starts us off with this ball. That's a good one. In the pocket. Both bowlers in the pocket on this ball. Both drop 8. Janton shooting at the 2-4 and misses. Brienzi shooting at the 2-5 and the 8. There was another one back there. I didn't see it, but that's a mark for him. And an 8 box for Peter. So Peter is at 75. Nick's at 81 in a ball. So Nick's got a bit of a command on this string. But it's still tight. Hey, Justin Scully. Oh boy, on the 6-pin for Peter. Nick fills his spare with 5. 86 through 8. Peter has a bunch of pins down there, and great effort, put it in the pocket. Oh, Nick almost picks up the Caleri, but doesn't go, so both bowlers will be open again in the 9th box. And that's a 9 for Pete Janton for 86. 8 box for Nick Brienzi for 94. So Nick's up 8 pins and completed with 1 more box to go. It's 94 to, where are we getting 84 from? All right, well, Janton puts up a strike. See where I'm off there. 67 and 8. 75, that's where I'm off. All right, so no spare for Brienzi. He's got ourselves 2 to go. Takes him out for a 10 box, a 104 string for Nick Brienzi. Peter Janton is at 94 and 2 balls to fill. So he needs a spare to tie Nick. He's going to need another strike to get ahead. First ball on the fill, box 10. Janton. Second to go, just misses a double. Nice 9 drop, 2 pins still up. He gets this, he'll tie the string. And we'll have a split on this one. And he does not. That will give the string to Nick Brienzi. 104 to 103. That's a tight one. Down to the last ball. So, 2 games in. 202 for Brienzi and 216 for Peter Janton. So both bowlers have 2 points each. Janton with a 14-pin lead in total, and our C bowlers are coming up for the middle game of this match, game 3. And we have Brian Pratt on our right on lane 4. And he starts us off with a nice head pin hit. And earns himself a spare. Kevin Brown, beautiful head pin hit. And leaves 2. Brian's got the 3, 6, and 7. Wood in there may be helpful, but it's not. Looked better than it ended up being. Kevin's got the 3 and the 5, and misses the 3, so both bowlers open. Put a dash in their score. All right, Brian trying to pick up the split, and he'll have to settle for an 8-box to start. Kevin's got 1 to shoot at. That's it. All over it. 10-box. Might have been a second one back there. I saw a couple pins flying, but I'm pretty sure it was only 1. Regardless, it's a 10-box. And Brian Pratt starting box 2. Nice ball in the pocket. Gives him a triangle. Or no, a diamond. It's a diamond. There's a pin back there. Kevin on the head pin too, but he gets a split. And nothing going for Brian. Kevin trying to pick this up, and he's going to throw it too far to the left. So he still has 3 pins up. And Brian gets 3 out of 4 in the diamond, so a 9-box. He's a 17 through 2. Spread all over the place here for Kevin, so an 8-box, and he's at 18 through 2. So a 2-pin lead, or 1-pin lead for Brown in his first year in the ACST. Been bowling a few leagues in Millis. I see him bowling frequently, and he's really picked up his game the last year or 2. And talk about picking up your game, that is a strike for Brian Pratt, no doubt about that one. Nick trying to match it. Kevin trying to match it with a hit on a 2-pin. He's got the 4 horsemen. I think just a 7. I don't know if there's anything behind there. I can't see it for sure. Just off. Leaves the 110. And he'll take an 8-box for 26 through 3. Okay. So that's Brian Pratt's first strike of this match. And he's on a fill. Came in on the 6-pin. Gets some late action, so 5 to start. Diamond in the middle and plus a 7. Brown off to the left. Caleri right. Both bowlers took down 5 with their first ball. Looks a little different, though. Pratt with that diamond. Oh, good bid on that. Great bid. But that puts 8 in the fill. And no spare for Kevin. So 7 and 8, 35 through 3 for Pratt. And a 10-box, he's at 45 through 4. Kevin played the wood, he had to. Ends up with an 8-box, 34 through 4. And now we're coming up into the last box that'll bring us to the midpoint of this match for these guys. 45 to 34 and through 4 boxes, and Brian Pratt starts us off. Nice hit, but gets split at 5-7. Kevin's in there. All right, there goes a 10-pin. So a nice 9 drop with a makeable spare. 7. Got wood over by it. I don't know that it helps. Shooting at the 5-7 is Brian and doesn't get anything. Goes through the middle. And Kevin trying to sweep that wood over but doesn't get it to go. So no spares in the 5th for either guy. 9-box for Brian Pratt for 54 half. And Kevin picks up that 7-pin that time for a 44 half. So 54 to 44 in favor of Brian Pratt through the first half of game 3. A bowlers are coming up now. And I'm just checking the feed here. I'm getting a little bit different numbers by looking on the computer versus the phone, but that's okay. I know you're there. It's curious. I show more viewers live on the computer than I do on the phone, but nice head pin hit for Brienzi. And 3-1 split. Janton with a pin out there. And we have a pin that needs to be moved. It's in the way. Danny Corbett. Hello. Alright, so it doesn't look like Pete hit the head pin on that. Actually, I think he did. It's a 5 pin, not a head pin. All right, so Brienzi shooting at the 4, 7, 8, 10 split. He's in there. Good idea. It's everything but the 10. Janton shooting at 5, 8, 7, 8, and gets most of it to go. 9 box for Nick. 9 box for Peter. Matching 9s in the first for these guys. First game they had matching 10s in the first. Second game they had matching 9s. And here we go to box 2 of game 3. Nick Brienzi on lane 4. Starts us off with ball buried on the head pin. Maybe a bit full, and he's got a triangle right. And a 7. Peter Janton, his first ball is on the 6 pin. Gets just the 6 pin. Ball Grant's going to come knocking for that lemon drop. And Nick is looking at the triangle here, trying to carry it over. Nice job, but the 7 doesn't go. Janton on the head pin. And 3 are still up. And a 9 box for Nick. 18 through 2. Pete trying to get that wood to make something happen and put up an 8 box for 17 through 2. 1 pin game, 2 boxes in. Brienzi coming up to box 3 of game 3. He's at 18 through 2. Just misses a head pin and has a 4 horsemen left plus the 10. And Janton on the 3 pin. And I don't think the 8's down, so looks like he might have the 8 still up. I can't tell from here. Okay, Nick takes out the 10. And Pete does a good job on that one, but he leaves up the 5 and the 7, so both bowlers open again. 8 box for Nick. And an 8 box for Pete, so Nick's at 26 through 3, Pete's at 25. So a tight one. With Brienzi with an ever so slim lead of 1 pin in this game. All right, Brienzi off the head pin, Caleri left. And another lemon drop for Peter Janton. Okay, Brienzi with the 1, 2, 4, 7, and 9. Hits the 2 and the 4. Janton with 3 left up. Another open box. Nice out by Nick with a 9. And a 7 for Janton, so Janton's at 32. And that puts Nick at 35. So Nick's picked up a couple of pins here. He's still down in total. After 2 games, it was 216 to 202 for Peter Janton, but Nick coming up for his 5th box. Both bowlers looking for the first mark of this game. That doesn't help. That's a half Worcester left. Janton drops a bomb. He finds it. That first spare or strike of this game goes to Peter Janton with a big strike there. Made it look easy. Trying to spare the half Worcester. Nick hits the left side of those 2 pins, but he gets a lot of sidewall action. It takes out everything but the 136. So he'll be open, but... And he'll have to take an 8-box for 43 half. All right, halfway through game 3 in the speed division. It's 42 plus a 2-ball fill for Pete Janton and Nick Brienzi with a 43. C bowlers coming up. Brian Pratt leads 54 to 44 over Kevin Brown. He had the only mark in the first half, which was a strike in the third. Kevin looking to recover some ground here. He was down 207 or 187 to Pratt's 207 through 2, and both bowlers off the head pin. Half Worcester left for Kevin Brown, and just the outside triangle for Pratt. Oh, what an attempt by Kevin. Beautifully done, but the 7 didn't carry. And Kevin looking for a 10 here, just a 7-pin wood in front of it, and he's calling it off. And that'll be a 9-box for both. From my viewpoint, I thought it was good, but Kevin called it, and it's the bowler's call. And it is 63 to 53 through 6 boxes in this string. Advantage Brian Pratt, and here comes Kevin Brown. Nice head pin hit. Can he get that to go? That was a great ball. Larry Wentworth in the back cheering Kevin on. Both on a head pin. He's left with a 4-pin with wood. Pratt has a diamond, I believe. It might be a triangle. But that's a spare for Kevin. And Brian goes through the middle on that one, so no spare. He's got the 4-5. Tough leave. And a field goal on that one, but that's still an 8-box. 71 through 7. All right, so Kevin Brown at 63. He needs 8 or better to get ahead here. 8 to tie, get 9 to get ahead. And he didn't want to see that, but he's gained some ground with that 6 still. Oh, it's 5. I'm sorry, there's an 8 back there. 8 pin back there. It's hard to see from here. So 5 fill. He's at 68. Punches out the 2. Meantime, Brian Pratt open in this one. He had left the head pin up, and he still has 4 pins up there. 7-box for Kevin Brown, 75 through 8, and that 9-box keeps the advantage to Brian Pratt at 80 through 8, so it's 80 to 75 in the completed boxes. 2 more boxes to go in the middle game. Brown down by 5 pins through 8, down 20 in total through 2 games, and not what you want to have happen. Get the half Worcester right. Brian was spared a half Worcester. Leaves the 1-7. Kevin almost made this a little bit ago, but this time he goes wide, just picks off the 7. And Brian put that right about where he wanted to, but it went straight back instead of kicking over to the 7, so open box. And a 5-box for Kevin, 80 through 9. 9-box for Brian, 89 through 9. 10th box coming up. Brown needs to mark here and hope that Kevin does, or Brian doesn't. Nice ball. Gives him 8. Pratt punches through the 2-pin, but takes down 7. So he has a spare leave. Kevin's got the 3 and the 9 there, the half Worcester pins. I think the wood helps. We'll see if it does. It's got to be on that. He got the back pin. No mark for him. He'll be under 100. And that's a spare for Brian. So Brian will take game 3. $10 for a 90 string for Kevin Brown. 277 through 3. And Pratt looking to add to his total. Lets it get away from him, takes out just 1. But if you're going to do that, that's the time to do it. That gives him an even 100. So game 3, 100 to 90 in favor of Brian Pratt. He's got all 6 points so far. And a 30-pin lead in total for 3 games. 307 to 277. B-bowlers coming up. Peter Janton on your right. And he is on a strike fill. He's a 42 plus 2 ball fill. First ball in the fill. It's right in there. Nick Brienzi's at 43 at the half. So first ball for Peter, net 7 and a makeable spare. And that'll be a spare on strike for him. So he closes the first half with 52. Nick had 4 in a row. Well, no, actually, check mark. That's a 5 pin, not a head pin. And he's got an 8, 51 through 6. All right, so Peter is at 62 and a ball. Nine, 17, 25, 30. So scoreboard shows he had a $5 in the third. That's my mistake. Meantime, he put up 4 in the fill. Is it 3? Yep, it is. There's a sneaky 9 pin back there. I see it. That's a 9 box for Brienzi, 60 through 7. And a 3 box for Peter Janton, a 66. Giving Nick a chance on this one here. They're split so far in the first 2 strings. Nice head pin by Peter. 2 head pins. Peter's got the 3, 7, 8. 537, I'm sorry. And Nick had a big cluster down there, but neither one of them picks up the spare. $9 for Pete Janton, 75 through 8. $10 for Nick, so 70 through 8. Oh my goodness, another one. Peter Janton gets bit by the single pin chop off. Takes out just the 3. In the meantime, Nick hit the head pin on that. He's got 3 in a row. Nice bid by Pete. And Nick misses a spare, so and even though that bad first ball affected him, both bowlers pick up 10s. 85 to 80 through 9. All right, 10th box, game 3. Janton leading by 5 in completed boxes. And he leaves a 4 horseman. Brienzi needs to mark here. And he put it in the left pocket nicely. He's a 5, 7, 9, 10. Janton trying to spare the 4 horsemen, does not get it, goes to the left. And Nick did what he needed to do, which was pick up the spare in the 10th, give himself a chance. And that gains another pin for him, so a 9 box for Peter Janton. He's at 94. All right, Pete needs 4 to tie, 5 to win on this fill ball. So can't afford a punch out here. Needs at least 5 pins. Plus he's down 14 in total after the second game. And it's 4 pins. So we have a tie game here. 94-94 for the third game for these guys. They each get 1 point. So it is 3-3. Unbelievable finish, but we have a tie in points, 3-3 in total. Nick Brienzi with 296. And 310 for Peter Janton. So he's up 14 points. 14 pins. And we're back to the B's. Sorry, I'm a little draggy today. And Pratt starts out with a... Back to the C's, I'm sorry. Pratt starts out with a head pin hit and a spread eagle. Half Worcester left for Kevin Brown. All right, both bowlers still have pins up. 5 up for Brian. Trying to clean him up. And he's going to have to settle for a 6 box. Kevin's got 4 standing up. 5 standing up. He leaves 1. That's a 9 box. All right. Here. And we're box 2 of game 4, and Pratt puts a nice head pin hit up there and leaves a check mark on the right. I think the 9 pin too. Nice ball by Kevin. And he drops 8, and he leaves the 6 and the 9 pin. Pratt shooting at 5 together, and he will take just the 2 right-hand pins out and giving Kevin an opportunity here. Looks like he's on it, and he was, but the back pin didn't go for some reason. Who knows? That's why I don't like 2 together. 8 box for Brian for 14 through 2. And Kevin gets the 10 for 19 through 2. He's picked up some pins here. He's still down 30 in total. So he needs a big win here and try to get some points on the board. So far, Brian's dominated in points with 6-0. And nice pocket shot by Brian. Kevin, too, and Kevin gets a strike. That was a really good ball. Both bowlers really had good balls there. And Pratt takes out the spare. So matching marks. Kevin's was a hammer. All right, coming into box 4. Both bowlers on fills. Pratt with 1 ball, I'm sorry. In the pocket. Is that going to be 10? There it goes. Late falling strike. Strike on spare for Pratt. 34 through 3. Kevin's in there too. First ball is a split, but he's got another ball to go on this on the strike. 3-1. It's in there. And he gets it. Matching 20 boxes for these guys. 39 to 34 through the third ball, and both bowlers on marks. Pratt is on a strike. Brown is on a spare. And here we go. First ball of the fill for Brian. He's off the head pin, takes out 4. Kevin Brown on his spare fill. He's going to have a false start there, but we don't care in our game. didn't like the approach. So here he goes on the fill. In there. All right, definitely a head pin hit. Another split. You got 4 head pins so far, so 6 on the fill. 955. And 6 on the fill for the strike for Pratt. He's at 50. And they're both open. 2 and 2 for Pratt. He closes out with an 8, 58 half. Kevin's got 4 pins left up there, and he takes out just one of 7, so 62 at the half. It's a good half for Kevin. 62 to 58 for our C bowlers halfway through game 4. Kevin's picked up some ground. He's got a 4-pin lead. He's down 30 in total, so he's got some work to do here. But he's off to a good start on this one. B bowler's coming up to start game 4. Home bowler Nick Brienzi starts us off on the right. And Peter Janton on our left.
Kevin threw too many strikes.
What are we waiting for here? Oh, we've got a lane malfunction. So lane 3 is misbehaving. And they're stuck with me for a few minutes here. So while we're waiting for that, a little quiet here at Timber Lanes at the moment, but awesome place to bowl. I encourage people to come down here and give it a shot. Have a good restaurant, which I may take advantage of soon. And this is the site of the ACST championships last season, which were held down at the other end of the lanes. Haven't been down here on this end before. And we're waiting for mechanical repairs here. We'll see how long that takes, so bear with us, gang. And your comments are very much appreciated. And a little bit of a lag on here. But we're here. So, as those of you who watch us regularly, the bowlers are in an 18-match tournament during the year. They bowl one-on-one with other bowlers in their division. Each division has 16 bowlers, broken into groups of 4. You bowl everybody in your group of 4 twice, and everybody else once during the season. And it's all about points. So you're trying to accrue points like we've seen so far. So in the match we're about to watch here on game 4, so far it's a tie. They both have won 3 points. They've each won a string, and they've tied 1 string. So that's what we're talking about, is getting these points. And hopefully people are still with us here. I can't play music or we violate our copyright rules. So love to hear questions or whatever anybody's got out there for us. All right, so who's still with us here in the live view? Of course, most of our views are in the recording. So live view may have 20, may have 25, but then we usually end up with last few matches I've recorded have been 1,100 to 2,000. So good viewership. And we have a pin setter working, but without any pins. So as soon as that resets, then we'll be back to the action.
I think my mom watched one time and got mad at me because I got mad.
Yeah? Yeah, this show is R-rated sometimes.
I was trying not to swear because I knew there's 2 children around.
Well, I cover Justin Waters a lot. We get a lot of language there. And then I had Mike Nardone on the mic the other day.
And Mike commentated on one of my matches 2 years ago when I bowled Peter Penny.
I bowled Peter Penny before in matches. That was a fun one. My whole office came to watch. All right, waiting for the gentleman down there to come back. I don't know the person who was fixing it, but we don't want balls and pins flying around down there when there might be people in range. It does hurt when you get hit. And I think we're clear. So we're ready to start game 4 of our B Division match. We have 10 pins up on each side. They may be the size of dodgeballs, but Candlepin balls hurt a lot more than a dodgeball does. And Nick Brienzi is going to start us off as the home bowler. And puts it on the 3-pin. Drops 6. Janton, nice first ball. He's on the head pin. 8 drop, leaves just the 2 and the 4. Nick trying to pick up this split, which isn't officially a split. And he does. What a shot by Nick Brienzi. Matching spares by Peter Janton. So both bowlers marked in the first after that delay. Beautifully done. Pete took that. He had the 1-2-6-10 split without wood, and he played it on the inside, I believe. On the fill. He's on the 3-pin. Puts 5 in the fill. And same thing for Pete, but he put 6 in the fill. So 16 to 15 at 1. Nick picks up a couple more. And Peter does too. So Nick's got 3 pins still up. Peter has 2. And now the balls are not returning or returning too slowly. So here they come. Here they come. With a wave of a hand, the balls come back. And Nick's shooting at the castle right, and he's got a 7-box. 9-box for Pete Janton, so it's 25 to 22. 2 boxes in game 4. And Lauren, you're right, that was a great shot that Nick put up there. Box 3, Nick Brienzi. He's off the head pin. Drop 7 leaves the 1-8-10. Peter Janton. He's on the head pin. Helicopter around there, but it doesn't take anything out, so it's a diamond leave for him. Nick gets the back pin, leaves the 110. And Peter picks off the back 2 too. So both bowlers open box 3. Oh, through the hole. 30. And a 9-box for Janton, 34. So it's 34 to 30 in favor of Janton after 3 boxes of game 4. So a close one in this one. Brienzi looking for something here. Let it gets wide to the left, leaves a cleary right. Janton's in there. Light on the head pin. So 5 pins still up. Oh, Brienzi trying to put it in a 1-3 and just picks out the 3. Janton's got a better leave here. They're all together. Wood may help, may not. He's on the object, gets a spare. And Nick will have to settle for a 6-box for 36 through 4. And that puts Peter at 44 and a ball through 4. Brienzi looking for something in the 5th box. Again, he's off to the left. This time he takes out the triangle. Actually left the 8-pin. And a fill for Janton is 9. 53 through 4. Brienzi maybe a late falling pin here, but not enough to make a spare. And Janton with a spare. Single pin spare, nicely done. So that gives him a lead. 8-box for Brienzi, 44 through 5, and Janton is at 63 and a ball. And now the C bowlers coming up for their second half of game 4, with Kevin Brown leading 62 to 58 over Brian Pratt in this string. So far, Pratt's picked up all the points, and he leads 307 to 277 in the 3 completed games. Both bowlers had a spare strike or a strike spare combination in the first half. So some exciting action. They've both had a spare, both had a strike, combined them for 20 boxes. So we've seen some good action the first half of game 4 here, and here comes Kevin Brown. Half Worcester right. Brian Pratt just about matches it, but gets some better action and has a 4 horseman. 1, 2, 4, 7. Kevin's got a bunch down there. He can go. One side or the other of the head pin. A lot of us like to play the side toward the hole. He's going the other way and too far. Opens the door for Brian to get some catch up here if he can pick up the 4 horseman spare. And he's off the head pin. And is that going to take it? It does. Lucky break for Brian there. Rolled a pin forward. And Kevin's got a 7 box, 69 through 6. That was a big break for Brian. Pin rolled forward and took out the head pin. So that puts him at 68 and a ball. He's catching up with Kevin on this one. And he'll go ahead with a fill. Kevin off to the left, takes out 6, leaves a 4 horseman. Pratt with a nice head pin hit and puts 7 on the fill. 75. So he now has a 6-pin lead in his string. And Brown to the right that time. Pratt misses his object and will be open. So Brown just has the 1-3 for a 10 and misses an 8 box, 77 and a 10 box for Brian Pratt. So he's at 85 through the 7th box with an 8-pin lead. Coming into box 8. Kevin Brown looking for another mark. He's on the 2-pin leaves, the 3-pin leaves of Cleary. Brian Pratt also on the 3-pin. And he leaves a 4 horseman. Same leaves, just Kevin's got a 9-pin too, waiting for the wood to settle. And get that to settle in the right spot. It's a little straight. Okay, just picks up a couple. Pratt trying to spare, and he just picks off the object pin. So no mark in the 8 for these guys. Kevin with the 7. 85. And an 8 for Pratt for 93. $84, I'm sorry. So 9-pin lead for Pratt in completed boxes. Brown on the 3 again. Pratt's in there. 9 drop. 9-pin only, wood in front of it. Okay, Brown gets everything but the head pin to go. And Pratt's in there for a spare. That puts him at 103 and a ball. And a 9 box for Kevin, so 93. He's down 10 pins plus a fill. I think that was a head pin hit if I remember correctly. All right, last box of game 4. Kevin needing a mark here. First ball, he's on the head pin. Pratt is on the head pin, so he puts only 4 in the fill. Both have splits. Actually put 5 in the fill. Nice bid by Brown. And Pratt went to the 2 side of that and did not get the spare, but put a good bid on it. 108. 10 box for Kevin for a 103 game. Brian Pratt will win game 4, and with that 9, he's at 117. So game 4 in the books, 117 for Brian Pratt, 103 for Kevin Brown. So 8 points in the books for Brian Pratt, and in terms of lead, 420. Oh, not 420. I'm sorry. Yeah, 424. A 380 through 4 games. So that's a 44-pin lead for Pratt. And one more string to go, and we just had another malfunction coming up. Now the B bowler's coming up here. Peter is on a spare. He's a 63 plus a ball. Nick had a 44 half. Waiting for another reset. Get a pin out of the channel. Okay. Oh boy. Pins are just falling down there on their own. So I think Brian broke the pin setter. I don't know.
I mean, I didn't throw hard enough, but those pins go sticking up there.
It's like Cambridge used to be like that, yeah, when they had a place there. All right, so we get to watch the exciting action as a pin setter is being fixed. And you guys get to listen to my voice, which is not always the most exciting. So we have lane 4 acting properly with 10 pins there waiting to be knocked down, and lane 3. So my question is, where's lanes 1 and 2? Over here where the lockers are? Yep. There's no actual lanes though, right? So the lanes here start with number 3. So learned in radio never to have dead air, but bear with us, gang. We're in middle of game 4 for the B bowlers here. We're tied in points, 3 and 3. Both bowlers have won 1 string, and we tied the third. And at the moment, Peter Janton has an advantage of 14 pins in the completed games, but he is up 19 pins in this string plus a fill. So he put up a spare 6, a spare 9, and another spare in this, and 2 9 boxes. He's doing pretty well. 63 in a ball, possible 73 half. So anybody watching, let me know what you're thinking here. We've had some pretty good bowling here. No huge scores so far. Somebody sent me a messenger message. Yep, Kevin. Another pin just falls. Supposed to wait for the ball before they fall. All right, looking for anybody who's got a comment. Nico, if you're watching for editing purposes, this is stuff you can probably delete, but now the pins are resetting but falling out of the pin setter. That's not a good sign. So stay with us, gang. We're going to have some good bowling here in a minute. And we are watching a doubleheader today, head-to-head matches. Peter Janton visiting Nick Brienzi in the B division of the ACST South.
Nick did this on purpose to cool me down.
And in the C division, Kevin Brown is visiting Brian Pratt. So far, Brian swept.
That's kind of hard to do. I threw a 120 something.
So this morning we covered Alex Chow and Mark Gallagher. It was a fun match there. Alex Chow, very consistent in his first 3 strings. 122, 123, 122. And ended up being an 8-6 match in favor of Alex. High string was, I believe, a 135 from Mark Gallagher. Started off slow, but he picked it right up. Patrick McCauley, thank you for joining us. We're in the middle of a break right now because we have equipment malfunction here, so stay with me, make some comments, whatever you want to say. We have some good bowling going on here today. We are waiting to start the second half of Game 4 for the B Division. Game 1 was won by Peter Janton, 113-98 over Nick Brienzi. Nick came back and won Game 2, 104-103, and then they tied Game 3, 94-94. It's 310-296 in the completed games, not including the game currently where Janton has a 19-pin lead plus a fill over Brienzi. So comments help me fill air, so I appreciate that. All right, they're coming down and going back up pinless. We have pins in the gutter. Don Devish watching the break. We can see the football game up there. I don't know who's playing, but I'm not a football guy. Guess it's the Patriots. Or it's over. They're showing fifth quarter. I don't know what's going on. I'm a baseball guy.
Never bowled anywhere beyond 7 this way and beyond the wall. I've always just stuck to the middle of the top.
Oh, just waiting on their repair down there.
Tournament, subbing, this. Yeah, you're not moving around.
So, what do you think, Don? So, viewers, I appreciate you staying with us.
That's why we can't.
We have a game and a half to go here.
Sorry. What was that 5 film? They didn't like it.
I'm trying to fill dead air. It's challenging at the moment. Yeah, come on over here. Larry Wentworth's going to join in on us with us. He said he was microphone shy, but I don't see any shyness in Larry Wentworth ever. I didn't think so. So Larry's with us. We have a viewership here. As usual during the live, we don't have a ton of people, but it's recorded, and then usually we get about anywhere from 1,100 to 2,000 or 3,000. So, how you doing? How you bowling?
Good. I'm not bowling at all. I'm on the sidelines with an injury right now.
I know how that is.
Yeah, well, it's not as bad as yours, but bad enough. Not one for sitting around.
No, I know what you mean. I'm going nuts with that myself. So I'm trying to get out. But are you going to be back to bowling sometime soon?
I think I'm going to be out this week. I'm hopeful I'll be back the week after, but
That's not bad.
yeah, we'll see what the doctor says Tuesday. Some
So-
type of a calf tear.
Oh, yeah, you got to let that rest. Some years ago when I was on my approach, I felt something pop, and I had torn a quadricep. Because I come back and there's like a big lump in my leg,
Yeah.
and it really hurt. I mean, it hurt like hell. So I pulled out, and then I saw the urgent care people, and they told me if I'd kept bowling, they were talking surgery at that point. But
Yeah.
so it was just 2 or 3 weeks off and let it heal, and I was okay. Haven't had a recurrence, but you got to take care of it.
I just hate missing bowling. I hate coming to watch. I'll watch my team bowl, but I'm hoping I'm at least back before Millis once a month, so my teammates don't miss me too much.
I don't think my once-a-month teammates miss me at all. I was awful last year, but yeah, I'm hoping to come back at some point myself. The goal when all this happened was to be back in the fall, and then the docs are like, no way. I said, what about the halfway in the season? And then they're like, no, maybe next year. Might be 2 years out. I don't know.
This will keep you busy.
Well, yeah, I'm still involved in the community and doing this as I can, and I can't cover everybody that wants me to because I do work still.
Triple.
And the thing too for me is the community's been very supportive. I have a lot of really good friends in the bowling community, and I really appreciate the support very much.
All the way down to
I will be back at some point, and
one end to the other.
hopefully not suck really bad.
It's just frustrating. The frustrating part is getting old.
Just keep breaking on that.
Parts start to break. Like
No.
these bowling alleys, for instance.
Yeah, well, you're younger than I am, I think, but
A little bit, but
yeah.
I turned 60 last October, and
Oh, you're an
like the
October
wheels
kid
are
too?
coming- yeah,
What day?
26.
Oh, I'm the 4th.
It's like the wheels came off the wagon a year ago.
Yeah, that's when stuff gets serious, when the number 60 something applies to you. That's hard to take. You look in the mirror and
My brain feels 22.
yeah, I'm the same boat.
Yeah.
I just turned 64, and it's weird. I mean, my granddaughter, I have one grandchild. She's 14 and just started high school. I'm like, oh wow,
Scary.
it is. And but like you say, my mind is still a kid,
Yep. Mind is willing, but the body's betraying us.
and that bothers me a lot with what I'm dealing with right now too, with mobility issues, and just feeling. I've never been a fragile guy, and I've always been very independent, and having to reach out for help sometimes, and worry if I make the move. So I guess we're going to move lanes, and I'm going to move the camera over a little bit.
You want some help?
I can do
Tell me what you need.
it. I have trouble getting out of chairs, so yeah, I can do it.
Want to hit it up?
No, I can do it. Especially if I sit for a while. The thighs muscles have been affected a lot.
Oh, I'm in the same boat.
So we're going to rotate the camera around a little bit. So we're going to move over.
Stick up and move, or you want to stay?
I think we're good here.
Good?
Yeah, I think we're pretty good here. We actually have a little bit better view this way.
Okay.
So what I'm doing, and I'm on the mic here, is
We have like a string and a half, right?
yeah, we have a string and a half, and we're just going to cover lanes 5 and 6. And we can see the lanes and everything pretty well from here. I could probably zoom in a little bit if I wanted to. But I think it's a good view, and if anybody watching says otherwise, let me know. And we're ready to get started again. So we're coming into the...
Thanks for having me on, Dan.
Well, you can stick around if you want.
No, I'm going to go over here and raise my leg up.
Oh, okay. So with lane 3 being out of commission, the bowlers have opted to move over to lanes 5 and 6. I'm not going to move my whole setup over there. I just moved the camera view to that angle. Actually gives us a better view sometimes to view it a little bit at an angle. So Peter Janton starting off. He's on a fill, and he comes in on the 3 pin and takes out 6. And so add 6 to the fill, 63, 67 half. Nick was off the head pin. Put 4 down, and it's got a makeable spare. Peter puts a great bid on that one, leaves the 8 pin. And Nick coming in and misses his object, so still has 4 pins up. So at the closing out the first half, Janton with a 23 pin lead in the string makes a 10 for a 77, and Nick with a 7 for 51. And Mike Capone, thanks for joining us. And I hope you guys don't mind the angle, because like I just said, I moved it to an angled view. I can see you okay. And Peter Janton with a hit on the 6 pin. It gives him a lot of action. He drops 6. Brienzi with a 4 horseman plus the 7 and a 9 left. They're doing work over on lane 3. That's why we moved over this way. The diagonal gives us a really good view of the pins, so Janton's going to be shooting at the 1-4-7-8 as we hear crashes and booms on lane 3. And Brienzi is looking at the 1-3-6-7-9-10. Oh, good question, Don. I didn't see that. I'm kind of a Toronto fan right at the moment. No spare for Janton. I mean, I kind of like the idea of seeing the Mariners make their first World Series, but I have some attachments to Toronto, so while I'm a Red Sox fan, overall. All right, 9 box, 64, Nick Brienzi, and an 87 for Peter Janton through, well, they have him at 89. Why am I off on that? 83. Okay, I see what I did. I made it. All those years of taking math and engineering school sometimes doesn't do me well. It's 69 half. I'm sorry. Head pin hit for Nick. Janton trying for a spare, misses it. And a spare for Brienzi in the 8th box. Right on time. Nice 10 box. Another 10 for Janton. 99 through 8. Spare for Brienzi puts him at 70 in a ball. Find my clicker here and maybe zoom this in a little bit for you guys if I can get it. So I have a remote for this camera. And I don't see where I put it right at the moment. Right, it's not going to help me at all. All right. 9 drop for Janton. And a 6 fill for, and that's a spare for Peter Janton. 6 fill. And no mark here. He hit the head pin on that one. So he's a 76. And add a 7 box. 83 through 9 for Nick Brienzi, and Peter Janton's on a fill. He's a 109 plus a ball. He's pretty much got this game in the bag. And on his fill, that, my friends, is a 10 fill. Big hammer in the 10th for Janton. Brienzi trying to match it, and the 6-pin stayed up. So with that 10 fill, he's at 109, 119 through 9, and 129 in a ball. Brienzi gets a mark. 93 in a ball through the 10th. So Janton's going to win game 4 and pick up quite a bit in the total, but let's see how it ends up. Almost a double, right on a head pin. 8 to start on a fill for Brienzi. Oh, come on, I can't get that 6-pin to fall. And that's a 6 fill, so 99. And a 9 fill for Janton. 129, 138 game. Solid win. Big game for Janton. And he wins game 4, 138 to 99 by my count. Did I miss a pin? Did he make it to 100 on that one?
Practicing?
Huh?
You practicing?
No, I can't even.
We are.
I can't. But have fun anyway.
I might be off by a pin here because I couldn't read. Did he end up with 100?
I believe so.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where I.
Now I know.
Brian.
Okay, I missed a pin somewhere then. I don't know where I missed it, but I missed a pin somewhere. So I'm going to call it 100. And I'll have to look at the score sheet somewhere. Anyway,
Now I know how you guys bowl so well.
it happens sometimes. So 138 to 100, 2 points awarded to Peter Janton. Peter Janton now has a 448 to 396 lead in total. And we are back to our C bowlers to start that last game of this match. And Brian Pratt starts out with a little helicopter action down there, leaves a 4 horseman. Kevin Brown takes a fall, and 9 pins fall.
You were hit.
Timmy Douglas, good to see you, buddy.
Timmy's watching?
Yep, he just came in.
Tim, get down here.
Pratt puts a bid on that, and he gets it from the back door. Spare in the first for Pratt. And a spare in the first for Brown. Matching marks. All right, not bad. Both bowlers picked up a mark in the first. Pins resetting, and Brian Pratt will be the first on the fill. Solid in the head pin, 7 on his fill. Evan puts up 8. Head pin was better not to hit the head pin that time. No spare for Brian. He was looking at the 4.76. Kevin's got the 1.8 and just takes the wood back into the pit. So both bowlers open in box 2. And that'll be a 9 for Brian Pratt for 26. And a 9 for Kevin Brown for 27 through 2. Kevin trying to pick up something on total right now. He is down by quite a bit. 424 to 380. Okay, a 2-pin hit for Brian Pratt leaves a spread eagle minus. Well, sort of. It's a 3 and 2. And Kevin found the 7-pin only that time. Brian found the bunny hole. No pins on that. Kevin needs a strike ball here for a 9-pin spare. Just off. So he's got 5 still up. They both have 5 still up. Pratt with a 7 box. 33 through 3. And a 9 box for Brown, 36 through 3. Brown trying to get some points here. Brian's already won the match. He has 8 points so far. The best Kevin can do is 6. But nobody likes to go home empty-handed from these things, so Kevin's a fighter. Brian on the 3-pin, drop 5. Kevin still a little too far to the left, but he did better than the last one. 4 pins are down. He's got 6 up. Oh, what a bid by Brian. Kevin's, is that going to go? Come on, he's hoping it does. There it goes. Spare for Brown. 5-pin last to fall. And a 10 box for Pratt, 43 through 4. Brown is at 46 plus a ball. He's got a deficit of 44 pins in total through 4 strings. Would need a very big win to come back for total, but I've seen stranger things happen. Off-target hit for Pratt, but he still gets 9. Brown on the fill. And getting some late action for a 7 fill. And that's 53 through 4. Single pin spare attempt by Pratt. He gets it. Spare in the 5th. Brown's got the 1-7-8. Got to hit the head pin first. He does. He gets everything but the 7-pin. That was a great effort. He hit that just about right. And a 9 box. So Kevin Brown with a 62 half. And he's up against Brian Pratt's 53 and a ball. And we're going to go back for our B bowlers to finish out their match. Or the first half of their last game. Peter Janton, who just put up a 138 to Nick Brienzi's 94. It's a 5-point to 3-point match. And Nick starts out with a 6 drop. Janton. Cleary. No head pins for these guys. So Brienzi looking at the 1-3, 5-8, and misses it all. Janton at the Cleary, right? He's in there and doesn't get the back pin to go. Nine box for Nick. And a matching 9 box for Pete. Double 9s in the 5th. He did? Okay. Sometimes I miss the pins in the back. Thank you. Well, that's an 8 box. All right, Brienzi on a head pin. And a 2-2 split. Janton first ball in box 2. So off the head pin, drops 5. Nick's got a toughie here. He's looks like the 3, 4, 6, 7. Maybe. Got the 7 to go. Can't get the 4 to go, but that was a great bid. And he gets a 10 out of that. 18 through 2. Nothing wrong with that. Janton with an 8 box. He's at 17 through 2. And anybody who's just joined us, you're wondering why we have the odd angle here. We had a malfunction on the first lane here, which is lane 3, and just decided rather than moving everything, I just changed the angle. So matching head pin hits by these guys. Brienzi's got a bit of a split going on down there. And nice idea to split the 6 and 10. And Janton didn't hit his objects, so both open again. 7 box for Nick. 25. 9 box for Pete, and 26. And we have a 1-pin game going on here. Janton's got a substantial lead in total. 52 pins right now. And that's through the 4 completed games, not including this game so far. Both bowlers with a head pin split. Brienzi's got wood that might help him there. Come on, he's hoping it rolled and turned, so the 9 pins stayed up. Janton's looking at the 2-4-10. Lots of wood down there. And it goes for him. Brienzi with a 9 box, 34 through 4. And Peter Janton's at 36 plus a ball, so he's got the lead right now. Nick Brienzi coming up. Off the head pin, 4 horsemen right. Peter Janton on the fill. And that's about as big a fill as you can get on that. He drops a bomb. Puts him at 46 through 4, 56 and 2 balls. Nick misses his spare attempt. Gets a 9, and that's a 43 half. So we're halfway through the last game on the B bowlers at 56 and 2 balls versus 43 in favor of Peter Janton. C bowlers coming up to finish. Kevin Brown coming up with a 62 half. Brian Pratt's at 53 plus a ball. Need a 9 fill to catch up for Kevin. Let's see what he's got here. Last half, last game. Brian Pratt swept so far. He's won 4 out of 4, so he's got all 8 points awarded so far. And a 44-pin lead in total after the first 4 games, not including this game. Kevin Brown, nice ball, but off the head pin. Pratt on the fill and puts 7 on his, so he's at 60.
The only thing I do.
Kevin Mason's a good bid. Okay, no spares. We're in box 6 of game 5 for the C bowlers. Brian Pratt hosting Kevin Brown here, and Kevin's got an 8 box. He's at 70 through 6. And an 8 box for Pratt for 68 through 6. 2-pin string. Brown, first ball is on a head pin, solid. Nice 9 drop. Pratt also does the same thing, gets a 9 drop. He's got the 10 pin to shoot at. Kevin's shooting at the 4. Both single pins for a spare. Brown misses to the right. Pratt gets his, he'll probably go ahead here. And he misses. Both close, but both open. Third ball works for Kevin. 10 box, he's at 80. And Pratt gets his too for a 78 through 7. All right, missed opportunity for both guys on that one. And Kevin's on the 4-pin, drops 4, it looks like. Pratt, nice 9 drop. He's got a 5-pin alone. Kevin's got 4 horsemen plus a 5 and the, or actually 2 and the 5, I'm sorry. Spare for Brian Pratt. That's his third. And a 10 box for Kevin, so 90 through 8. Pratt's got an opportunity to go ahead if he can get more than 2 on his fill. All right, Brown with his first ball. He's just off the head pin, gets 8 down. 7 in the fill for Pratt. 95 through 8. Brown looking at the 1-2. He's got it. Nice spare right on time for him. And Pratt matches with his own. Okay, it's a 5-pin game in favor of Pratt right now. Kevin just trying to at least get 2 pin points out of this one. Pratt looking for a sweep. And on the fill for Brown, how about 6? And 7 for Pratt. So Brown's at 106. And Kevin punches through the diamond. And Pratt will sweep this match. 112 to 106 on the 9th. And Brown with that 9 has 115. Pratt with a 10 is at 122, and that's the ball game. And by my count, which is not the official score, Brian Pratt will take 14 points. 546 to 495. And we are back to the B division. Nick Brienzi with a strike. And Peter Janton is on a strike fill to finish out the first half. He's at 56 and 2 balls. He's got 6 more. A banana split. Or the Nixon, as Michael likes to call it. And he'll put 8 on the strike. And that's a 64 half. And he'll make a 10 for 74 through 7. All right, Brienzi's now at 53 and a ball. Or actually 2 ball. He put up a strike on that one. Is that a strike? All right, Janton starts us off. Drops a bomb, but it's only 9. Brienzi, he's on the head pin on that one. But he's got a split. Spare for Janton, 84 and a ball. Brienzi with an 8. And that's an 8 box for Nick. Just verify. I have it in memory lapse for a moment, whether you got a strike or a spare on that one. Alright, so okay, 7 on the fill for Janton, and he's left with a 1-2-8. Nick's got a mess down there. He was off to the right a little bit, it appears, and I think that would maybe really helpful to him. Give him a shot at this. No spare for Janton. Nick's in there. 7-pin or 10-pin doesn't carry. He gets a 10 box. And a 9 for Janton. He's at 100 through 8. Nick's at 79. Janton on the head pin with a split. Brienzi off to the 2-pin, but look at this. 1, 3, 9, 8 are left up. Better lead than I think that Janton has. But Janton gets the spare on that. That was a remarkable shot. And Nick matches with a mark of his own. I think Peter's got a good chance to make this one. All right, last box of this doubleheader match. And both bowlers on a spare. Janton with 7. Brienzi with just 4 on his. And Janton will be open. Nick giving it a run, but picks off just 1. The match will go to Peter Janton. And an 8 box for Pete. 125 string by my count. And that was an 8 box for Nick Brienzi. 101. Am I right on that? They're giving him a 7. Okay. 100. So here we go. At least the points are accurate for me, for sure. It's been a long day, guys. And game 5 goes to Peter Janton with a 125 to 100. And he will take total as well. With a 573 set to 496. And that makes it 11 to 3 in favor of Peter Janton. So let's wrap it up here. 2 matches we just saw. The B Division, Peter Janton defeats Nick Brienzi 573 to 496. He won 3 games and tied 1, so he's got 11 points to Nick's 3. In the C Division, Brian Pratt managed to sweep Kevin Brown with all 5 games and one total 546 to 495. So long day of bowling here. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast despite the downtime with some equipment malfunctions. But that's a wrap. This is Dan Castle. We're here at Webster Timber Lanes in Abington, Massachusetts. And we will see you all on the lanes.